Hey, what up guys, happy new year, woo! With us heading straight into the year 2026, I wanna share with everyone who's interested my plans when it comes to what to expect from me as a content creator in the upcoming year 2026. Let's first of all talk about my YouTube channel right here called Strawhead, where I cover the video game Reverse1999. I wanna start off by thanking everyone one more time very much for sticking with me, watching my content throughout this entire journey, which lasts for like 7, 8 or 9 months at this point. So thank you very much for watching my content and sticking with me through all the ups and all the downs that we had to go through. It is of course mostly been ups, like 95%, 96% of all of my content creation were only positives and only ups. The only downsides we faced were when the community decided to reduce their IQ below room temperature and they were heavily misjudging characters, like mostly Eternity Euphoria number 2, spouting the nonsense of, oh, this will replace Nautica, blah 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 blah. That led to a whole bunch of drama. Or yeah, the whole Ezio fiasco is very well known at this point as well. That made me become Reddit's most wanted for a day or two. And of course, throughout the whole year 2026 and much longer, I will keep this channel alive. I will cover the video game Reverse1999 and all of its aspects for an eternity. I will never stop doing this because I have an absolute blast doing so. My goals, including the goal for 2026 and maybe even 2027, I think we have to go that far, is evolving this channel to just be able to make much more YouTube content. That is also my long-term goal. I want to make more content for YouTube. Unfortunately, as we all know, Reverse1999 doesn't quite allow me to do this because while it is quite an incredible task that I fulfilled throughout the whole 8 or 9 months to maintain a daily upload schedule for a game that has as much content throughout as Reverse1999. We could even go as far and say the game is quite dead for very long periods of time, to say the least, when it comes to how much content there is and when it comes to how much stuff there is to talk about. And yet I am consistently, still to this day, maintain a daily upload schedule. Honestly, I still am able to get a lot of fun and a lot of excitement out of making content for Reverse1999 on YouTube and even like make all of this for free. I have an absolute blast doing all of this. And therefore, don't worry, my channel or my content creation for Reverse1999 is not going anywhere anytime soon. I will cover this and do what I'm doing right now until the end of time. What might happen even this year is I will do another attempt of evolving my channel and cover more than quote-unquote just one game with Reverse, because it is very tough to find things to talk about, to find content to make. And I want to do, as I said, I want to do much more moving into the future. And I tried already this year in 2025 to evolve the channel and cover a second game with Chaos Zero Nightmare. Unfortunately, that didn't quite turn out the way I planned to. The developers killed their game soon after release, so that's unfortunate. But of course, I will not give up. I have my eyes on games that are releasing or should be releasing soon, either this year or maybe early next year. We will see. The release dates are not yet confirmed for any of the games that I have my eyes on. On this very channel here, Strawhead, I will only cover games that I see as top-notch games. I will not cover any slop or anything, right? Of course, just as it was with Chaos Zero Nightmare, sometimes things happen and things don't turn out quite as we planned them to. So I will not cover Arknight's Enfield on this channel, for example, because I think that game will be good but will not be top notch, just as Reverse1999 is. Reverse1999 is such a good game. Even apart from being a gacha game, it is one of the best turn-based video games ever created. So that is something that I consider to be top-notch, and that's why I cover this game. I don't think Arknights will come close to this level of quality, but there is a game that I would predict, at least, even though I might be wrong, such as I was with Chaos Hero Nightmare, but there is a game on the horizon that I think could hold up to the quality standards that I set myself when it comes to what video games I play and what video games I want to cover on my Strawhead channel. And that game is called Crystal Palace. Now again, like, there is no release date confirmed yet for this game, so we might not see this game in 2026, or if even then very late into 2026. Maybe it is gonna release in July, but who knows? The release date is to be determined, but that is another game that you will, when it comes out, definitely see on my channel, 100% guaranteed. Now that raises the question of, hey, how do you gonna bust out more content for YouTube if you are stuck for a while, for pretty much a whole month, with just Reverse1999? And the game that you want to cover on the Strawhead channel is to be determined, right? We do not know when the game Silver Palace will actually be released. What am I going to do in the meanwhile? Where do I get all of this content that I want to keep covering, or want to start covering, I should say? How does this work? Where do I get this from? Where do I put all of this content? And this is where a second YouTube channel that I created comes in, and it will be called Strawhead Gaming. The main thing I will do on the Strawhead Gaming channel is, of course, you guessed it, covering more and more games. The biggest one to come out right now will be, of course, Arknights Enfield. That is a game that I will 100% guaranteed cover on my channel, and I will make content for this game every single day once the game is actually released. I will cover this game just as I cover Reverse1999 on the Strawhead channel, but Arknights Enfield, as I explained earlier, will go to the Strawhead Gaming channel. Now, this channel is gonna be about more stuff. Of course, I will do this quite infrequently because I want this channel to still be mainly about covering games like Arknights Enfield, and there are other games on the horizon as well that I'm at least willing to try out and see where this journey takes me. I can give you a few examples. There will be a game called Mongeal Stardive coming out. I will cover this game. For how long? I don't know. There will be a game coming out called Rewinding Cadence. I will cover this game for sure. How long? That is to be determined. I will try the game out Neverness to Everness, you know? And yeah, the list goes on a little bit further, but those were just some examples. Additionally, this is not only a channel for me to cover mobile gaming, but all kinds of games I will cover. Whenever a new PC game, for example, comes out that piques my interest, I will try it out on stream first on my Twitch channel, and if I like it and if I do a whole playthrough, this playthrough will be put onto my Strawhead Gaming channel as well. Not only mobile games, not only new games, but I will also do some retro gaming. For example, the first playthrough that I plan to upload to this channel will be about Chrono Trigger. I have never played the game that is said by many to be an absolute masterpiece and one of the best games of all time, Chrono Trigger. So I will go in blind into this game, I will do a playthrough, and that is probably going to be the first playthrough that I'm ever gonna upload to this channel. This channel already exists. I will leave a link to it in the description down below if you already are interested in following this, because for example you want to see me playing more games than just Reverse 1999, or you are interested in to me covering the Arknights Enfield game that is going to be released on January 22nd, then you can feel free to already leave a follow there. The first videos are going to be uploaded around the time Arknight Enfield's releases. While this channel is called Strawhead Gaming, and it will, as I said, be primarily about gaming, mostly about games that I cover in the same style that I'm doing with Reverse 1999 on my Strawhead channel, right? Arknights Enfield is going to be the first example, as I said many times by now, but I will also do other stuff. Whatever comes to mind, basically. A few examples here would be top 10 lists. What do I consider to be the top 10 best games of all time? What would I consider to be the top 10 best movies of all time? That kind of stuff. Also, what I'm planning to do is esports coverage. Like for example the Pokemon Unite Championship Series, something I could try out to cover, although I don't think this will be well received, but why not give it a shot, right? Other esports titles, like for example maybe a little bit of Counter-Strike, or we will talk about the League of Legends World Championship Series. We can go in and analyze and break down some games and strategies and draft picks even, right? When it comes to games that I'm very familiar with, like Pokemon Unite or League of Legends, for example. There is of course more stuff concerning esports and games that I'm interested in. For example, we have the Esports World Cup, I think is what it's called. There is a huge amount of money on the line, and there's also stuff like chess, for example, played. The best chess players in the world face each other there for a pretty big prize pool. So I know a lot about chess, I'm into chess, and yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about that as well. You know what I mean? Provide variety on this channel. That is pretty much the goal. Keep it about gaming mostly though, and the main focus will be covering games like I do with Reverse 1999, where I have like daily uploads and really cover every single aspects of a few games. But you know, from time to time, or yeah, it will even be on a regular basis as like bonus uploads, so to speak. I will talk about things that are happening right now and that are on my mind, but I will keep everything, of course, about gaming and about movies and maybe shows. For example, I can give you an example that in March of 2026 there is going to be the second season of the One Piece live action going down on Netflix. I'm gonna watch that show, and maybe I will upload a whole review of the whole thing, or maybe I will cover each and every episode. We will see how this goes, right? How I'm feeling, what my mood is. Do I want to cover every single episode? How the quality of this will be? Will it be significantly better or significantly worse than season 1? You know, all of this stuff has to be determined before I know exactly how I'm gonna cover this stuff. But yeah, that is something to look forward to. Or as well, other stuff. I will talk about animes, for example. I have never seen the anime Steins Gate. That is something on my list that I'm definitely gonna watch, and maybe I'm gonna talk about this on this channel, sure. Or I have not seen the last season of Demon Slayer, which I'm gonna watch this year, 100% guaranteed. We can talk about that, you know, and whatever basically comes to mind, whatever I feel like talking about, that is what I'm gonna do on this channel as extra uploads on top of already covering games like Arknights Enfield. And if you have anything you would like to see me play, right? Any retro game where you would be like, I would actually enjoy someone that has never played this game playing this game. I would like to see Strawhead play that game, you know. I've already have recommendations, received recommendations, I should say, in the past of people would love to see me playing the game and covering the game, making content for the game, movements, you know. If you have anything like that. For video games, I will only cover new stuff. Mostly, I do playthroughs for the retro stuff, right? But I will not make a huge amount of content for retro games. That is gonna be only playthroughs. I will also not covering an old game like Morimans right now, right? That is not what I'm after. For a video game where you would like to see me putting out content on a regular basis, that would have to be a newly released video game. But if you want to see me play a very old game like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, an old Final Fantasy or something like that, hit me up, join the Discord server and talk to me about what you would like to see me play, what you like to see me cover, what would you like me or hear me talk about. That would be highly appreciated, and I would definitely do so, at least in most of the cases. Link to my Discord server is in the description down below, so feel free and hop into there if you like. And it doesn't even stop here with the YouTube stuff. It goes further onto my twitch.tv channel, where I already, for like over a year at this point, play video games every single day, and I do this for an excessive amount of hours, considering I do it every single day. I used to stream for at the very least 8 hours daily. That though is not the case anymore, although I would like to revive that kind of streaming time. It is because I'm not interested in any new releases usually, and I'm kind of stuck with the video game called Pokemon Unite. In Pokemon Unite I was one of, if not even the best jungler in Europe in Season 1, and I currently in Season 4 or whatever it is, yeah, this is Year 4, Year 5, whatever it is, I have a world record in this game. And I'm playing this game every single day because I'm pretty much not interested in anything else, at least until up on this point. But this game is so heavily mismanaged by the developers. They run their game into the ground more and more and more. Every single time they do something so ridiculously stupid that we think, alright, they hit the absolute rock bottom. It can't get any worse from this point on. These developers are like, oh boy, you hold my beer, you wait, and we make this game 10 times, if not 100 times worse than it already was. So there is no future for this game. It gets worse and worse and worse. Even at points where you think this game can't get any worse, it gets worse, right? You wait. That is kind of the philosophy that the developers take with the game Pokemon Unite. It is time now though to move on from this game. Even though I have this world record, I at least once was, when I really practiced this game a lot in a very good environment, like one of the best players in this game, at least when it comes to Europe and my jungle role. But I want to change that, and I want to make my stream much more appealing. Look, another thing I would like to tell you about is that in my stream, I don't want to sit there talking to myself. So whenever there's a new viewer or the chat is completely inactive, I do not talk at all. I mute my mic and I don't speak. So what that means is that everyone who comes in and watches briefly to like check the stream out, right? They don't hear me speak. I provide no commentary. All they hear is the in-game sound. And that leads a lot of people, of course, to leave. And I will change that. I will move away from Pokemon Unite, not completely, but for the most part. At least that's the goal. I don't know if that will work out, because yeah, all the games that come out are mostly trash. Like look at the past 2 years, for example. If we look at what won Game of the Year, we have Astrobot and a game like Expedition 33. While yeah, at least Expedition 33 is is a good game, is a decent game, but this should never ever in any reality have even a chance of winning Game of the Year. That should be impossible. And this was by far the best game of 2025. There wasn't even competition that we could take seriously, and you know, that is what I mean. Like, the gaming industry is so extremely dog shit. Game developers are completely out of touch and so brain dead, and all they chase is money, 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 and they want it as fast as possible instead of going for the long-term appeal. And so, yeah, games that come out are complete unplayable garbage. But, you know, even if you come to the realization, and if you are like still like a true gamer of like with all of your heart, like I am, right? We just have to come to terms with the situation. We have to deal with it. If we like it or not, doesn't matter. That's the reality of the situation, and we have to take it no matter what. If we hate it, if we don't like it, it doesn't matter, right? We gotta play something. And we cannot be stuck with like one game. At least not on stream, right? I cannot keep streaming Pokemon Unite. That game is dead. There's no viewership. The entire category peaks at 400 viewers. Like, of course, where are my viewers gonna come from if this game is not watched at all whatsoever anyways? You know what I mean? There is no audience to be had there. And like, that's why, even if like most games are completely garbage, I will still at least like give them a shot. For example, last year in 2025, there was Expedition 33 that I could have played. There was Arc Riders I could have played. There was this new Digimon game that I could have given a shot. You know, there are not many games, but there were a few where I should have given them at least a try. But I didn't, you know. I should have done an Expedition 33 playthrough. I didn't. I should have bought this Digimon game, done a playthrough. I didn't, you know what I mean? And that is what is gonna change this year. I'm gonna sit there talking to myself so that whenever a new viewer would come in to check the stream out, they're not hit with silence. And I'm gonna play a variety of games to make everything more appealing and much more exciting compared to how it is right now. That's why I will do some retro gaming with Chrono Trigger. I will play the newest mobile games like Arknights, Enfields, and the other games that I counted out earlier. So there we go. That's it. I will of course maintain my Strawhead channel just as it is right now. Nothing is gonna change there. I'm gonna have a second channel where I talk about all kinds of stuff, but it is also mainly about gaming, and the focus point there is also covering a game just like I do with Reverse1999. And the first game that I'm gonna cover, like Reverse1999, is gonna be Arknights Enfield, and I'm gonna evolve my stream there. I'm gonna be much more active in terms of communication, make things more exciting, and have a whole lot more variety. And those are my plans for content creation in the year 2026. I hope this was fun and informative. If you like what you hear, give my second channel a follow already if you are interested, especially about Arknights Enfields, or you want to see me play other games like Chrono Trigger. Leave a follow there. If you are not subscribed, or not, if you don't follow my twitch.tv channel, feel free to leave a follow there as well, in case you want to see the playthroughs live and not just have them on YouTube available on my Strawhead gaming channel. Of course, also a thing I should mention is that I will always have exclusive content. I'm not just gonna stream a playthrough and then upload it like that onto my onto my Strawhead gaming channel. That is not how this is gonna work. Of course I'm gonna edit stuff, I'm gonna add and I'm gonna remove stuff, and I will have exclusive stuff to the Strawhead gaming channel that will never be seen live on stream, right? And I will do stuff on stream that will never be on one of my YouTube channels, right? But that's just as a side note. And that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that wasn't too boring. That's what I'm up to in the year 2026. Again, Happy New Year. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Peace and love.